low-key be jamming to that. We might need to get a new tune because that thing be trying to get to me at the end. But hey, welcome back, everybody. You already know it is Eric Shelton on this side, Jamal Williams on that side. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. So we're back for another week, and we're starting a new series, as you guys heard last week. Hopefully you heard. If not, if it's new to you, then you probably should go like, comment, subscribe on our previous videos and the Instagram page. But we're doing a Road to Championship shows. So can you tell them what that entails, Jamal?
Man, Road to Championship. We're just going to get some great athletes on our podcast and talk about the championship shows. As you know, you have the Yorton, you have the Mr. America, you have the USBF Championship, you have IP Worlds, you have the Natural Olympia, you have the NGA Universe. Who am I leaving out? Because I don't want nobody coming after me talking about, you left us out. Is there any shows that I'm leaving out? As far as championship
Mr. America,
shows?
I think we covered majority of them, but if we left y'all out, then probably y'all should message us so we can find out about y'all. So,
yo, that's terrible.
Hey, even if you want to get spicy, there's the Ben Weeder Natural, and that's kind of like a championship show. You know, it's at the end of the year. That's for the people who gonna go over to the NPC. So that's there. We can't leave them out. But our guest today, hey, y'all seen the promo that we already put up, but y'all know who she is. She was on our podcast last year. I think she might be undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but she'll let us know. I know she won a pro card last year, and then said, "Hey, I'm gonna go run up a check at the Yorton," and won that too.
Right.
So we got no other than Shelli. Welcome back.
I mean, in the 2 OCB shows I've done, yes, technically I'm undefeated, yes.
Kicking ass in the OCB.
I mean, it's 2 shows, but they're big ones. I was proud, so.
Absolutely. Hey, do not downplay your shows for anybody. You came into the Yorton last September, and you walked away with $5,000. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, thanks. It was I was pleasantly surprised. So,
well, first of all, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're going to hop right into it.
Okay.
For the people that don't know you.
Okay. Shelli Tharrett. I am currently the Yorton Cup bikini champion. I've been bodybuilding since 2019. And I'm 43. I like to say my age because I'm no spring chicken. And yeah, I live in Tennessee, so here we are.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go back. You said that you were surprised that you won the Yorton. Why were you surprised?
I try to go into any competition, any show that I do with no expectations. And I think you guys talked a couple shows ago about stalking on social media, and you never know who's going to be there. You never know what they're going to look like. And, I just won my pro card in, July. So I didn't even really have my feet wet, so to speak, in the OCB. I just went from July to, going right into Yorton and thought, I'll give it a go and see what it's like. And it's such a whirlwind. You just show up backstage and you're so in your own zone. I didn't even really have a chance to talk to anyone or get to know anyone and then you're just on stage and then I won. Okay. So it just was a real whirlwind. So I was surprised pleasantly, but it was quite a cool experience.
And I was about to say with stalking pages. So we're going to that, like you were fairly new. So I think it kind of played, I would think it's an advantage for you, right? Nobody really could go look at your page and find out anything but the one show. But I think you would have had a whole lot of homework with, 40-something, 50-something
right.
Other ladies to go research.
I would have been doing that full time, just catching up on everyone.
So how does that play on your psyche? I know we spoke to, I think it was Brittany about it, but how does that play on your psyche about, I guess, knowing competitors won and then going to look at their pages too?
I think depending on the person, it can really play on your psyche. I mean, you can, like she talked about too. You can stalk all day long and get in your own head. And to me, I think bodybuilding is mainly mental. I mean, you can wreck yourself all day comparing and looking. I mean, I'm my own worst critic. I don't know about you guys, but I don't need to compare myself to anyone else because I'm comparing myself to myself every day of every prep. But I think competition's good, but at the same time, I mean, really, you should just be competing against yourself and there for the enjoyment of it, not necessarily to beat someone else. You want to do your best, but everyone else is doing their best. So why make it worse?
Absolutely. So one of the questions I got asked after I won the Yorton in 2022, like, how does it feel? How do you feel? How does it feel? Like you said, you really don't get a chance to process that after a show. So has that finally set in with you? Like, yo, I went to the Yorton Cup. I won first place. I am the bikini champion. Like, had that set in? And if it has, how does that feel?
I'll be honest, it still hasn't set in. It wasn't, and especially, and you guys brought this up too on your show because I'm a fan and I watch it, but you guys get to go on first. So at that point in time, bikini, it was late in the day. I think everything was torn down by the time you win, you get interviewed, everyone's gone. You're like, okay, well, so it just really hadn't sunk in for me. And even still, like I just got back from Knoxville yesterday. I did the trophy presentation for the Tennessee Natural. And it's funny because, Marjorie will say, this is the bikini champion. And it still just doesn't, because to me, again, I go there for me and I'm proud of winning, but it still just really hasn't, I guess the gravity of it hasn't sunk in with me yet. It's I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, and I think even along with that, it's kind of funny because we all been in the room where Marjorie was like, hey, this is so and so, and then the people in the room would be like
who?
They're like, what's the Yorton Cup? And then she has to explain it all. So, and I think that's the misconception with winning the Yorton, and I think it is a huge accomplishment, right? But then it's also like it's the unknown for so many people. Like I ain't gonna say nobody, but a lot of people who's fresh to the sport don't really know the magnitude of it. So it's almost like you have to explain it to them.
Yes, but, yes, totally.
So it's kind of like a WADA, like, all right, he accomplished or she accomplished something, but what exactly is it, right? So leaving off of that stage, of course, and I think even when me and Jamal looked at it, we talked about quality versus quantity on the stage, especially in these championship shows. By far, the Yorton was the biggest bikini show, by far. But I think also, in turn, we also have a lot of quality bikini ladies in that division. So I know you said you were pleasantly surprised, but in your mind, how do you get better, or how did you get better for this year if you're returning? We'll ask that later. If you're returning, how do you get better?
One, yes, I'm returning. That hasn't really been a secret, but I guess kind of has been. But that's the plan, given everything. I mean, you guys know you don't want to jinx anything health-wise. A lot can happen. I'd love to return. That's my plan. But as far as getting better, again, it's always looking at yourself. Looking at those small parts. I mean, you guys, we all do it. Is it your glutes? Is it your shoulders? Is it how can I push myself? How can I get another rep in? How can I, really change my diet a little bit more? How can you go that extra step, to really change yourself? Because our bodies, to me, are fascinating, amazing things. Like what we can do even in 3 months is incredible with extra reps, extra clean eating, better sleep, just all these little things that you can do to manipulate the results. And then you look at it, you're like, wow, I did that in, 3 months or 6 months or whatever your off season is. It's pretty impressive.
Oh, you waiting on me? You want me to go ahead?
So, I thought your dog wanted to say something, so we're just listening.
Yeah, apparently he did. So, Shelli, so what made you want to return this year? Because I know some people don't want to deal with the pressure of, I got to go back to the Yorton Cup. So what made you want to return this year and defend your title?
A lot of things. One, I love competing. I love it. It's expensive. Let's be honest. Like some of this stuff, you're just like, and like you guys talked about again. I mean, us girls have got to pay a lot more than you guys do. So, picking and choosing the shows you do and financially, but I enjoy competing. I love that show. Like you said, it's the biggest and best. Like, why not? The excitement's there, the competition's there. And, and again, for me, I don't want to sound cliche. It's yes, you're going to defend your title, but again, a lot can happen. And there's a stacked, deep bikini category. Like even at the show this weekend, I mean, those girls up there were no joke. They came to compete. And so, that's exciting for me. I want to compete. That's the whole point of it. I love the competition. I love the camaraderie, and I hope everyone brings it. That's the goal, especially at Yorton. You're bringing your best, and you're hoping that it comes out like that on stage. So
absolutely. And I know one thing people like to say is like me versus me, but I think once you get to that level of like a championship show like the Yorton, no, it's me versus the other 40, 45 people that stepping on stage because they're looking to take me out. Like I got the target on my back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, and I've heard that too, me versus me, and you can agree with that, but only to a certain extent. I mean, let's be honest. Like you said, we're all competing here, and it's in good fun. But at the same time, you got 40 some people, like you said, coming after you, coming after your prize, coming after your title. Like that's just not realistic to be like, oh, it's me versus me every day. It's not. Come on. It's really not. Because only one person wins. Like come on.
Oh man.
And the crazy thing is, I was over here thinking in my head, I was about to say something like that, but it was the complete opposite. I was like, all right, should I even say it anymore? Because I was just like, it is, granted, you are going against the field, right? But I feel like once you're a champion, you have to make noticeable changes every year. Like you have to do something different with your physique, with your posing, because I think we also had this conversation like just normal conversation me and Jamal had. I think like a judge naturally looks at how you look and they compare it to when they last seen you. Granted, that doesn't take account on you on that stage that day, but if I make no changes in the whole year and I come back, they're gonna just be like, we awarded that last year, so how can I stand out or how can I make myself more prevalent this year? So I think that's where the me versus me mentality come in. But then at the end of the day, like you said, when you're at the top of the mountain, I know all 49 of y'all are trying to come take this spot. So it's also me versus them as well. So we always do this, but I feel like this would probably be the best time to start asking athletes, like, one, some advice to give to people who never competed at a championship show, and two, kind of what's your mindset gearing up for that?
Ooh, that's good. Advice, and again, it's hard because everyone's different. There are some people that are super nervous and there's a lot of nerves, and everyone's so different in that. I think from an advice perspective, my best advice would be to try and kind of revel in that moment. Yes, your nerves are crazy. I mean, you're shaking, you're posing, there's just so much going on, but try and at least revel in the moment and be proud. I made it here. Like making it to that stage already is half the battle. But really just take in the moment and try and ease into it and just breathe and settle down and take in that moment because it'll go by super quick. That would be my advice. And as far as, for me, my mentality for that I guess it's the advice I give myself because I'm very, type A and I can be really high strung. And so sometimes when you're there, you're just so focused on hitting your poses and walking and doing all the things right that you forget to just, again, enjoy the moment, enjoy the backstage, meet some great people. But it's a balance, again, because you're there to compete and you want to hit your poses and nail things. But at the same time, you also want to, enjoy that and have that great experience and have it be memorable.
Absolutely. So the one thing I do like about you, Shelli, you're not very active on social media, but when you do post something, that shit be like, damn, Shelli been in the lab working. So like, what's your thought process behind that? Because like I said, you don't post often, but when you do, it's usually some good ass content. Like, damn, look at her fucking shoulders today, man. Look at her back. So What's your mindset behind that?
Oh, thanks. Like, you got me blushing over here. Thanks. I'll be brutally honest here. I'm a pretty honest person. I'm one of those people that has a love-hate relationship with social media. I love it, but I despise it. It's hard for me. Again, here we are with the age thing of 43. I'm not super cool with social media. I'm not even on TikTok. It's hard. And I know that a lot of the influencers, that's a full-time job creating this content. I don't know how people do it and make it so phenomenal because I just don't have the time. I have a full-time job myself. It's just a lot. But at the same time too, at least my personality, and maybe this is why I don't post much. And that type A, when I do post something, I want it to be good, or at least good in my mind, quality over quantity. So I'm like, you know what, if I'll post something, I want it to be something that I'm proud of, that I can put my name on. So I guess, I don't know, that's just my mentality behind it, but thanks. Cause I didn't realize it was that cool. So awesome.
Oh man.
At least it's not of my dog. Normally it would be just, a constant feed of my dog, which is great, but no.
Absolutely.
I just see that.
I think the major question I have, and it's geared towards the Yorton, of course. How do you feel about the 2-day format now? You ladies will not be going on at 9:00 at night. How do you feel about that?
Took my closing question, dog. Jesus.
Honestly, I personally am thrilled about it. Bikini still goes on a little bit later because we're always the last, which is fine. But I love it, especially because I get to watch you guys. I was super bummed that I didn't get to kind of, again, take part in all the fun stuff there. And I love watching everyone else compete. And so for me, I love the 2-day format. I think it gives us a little bit more time, especially since a lot of people come in from, I'm coming in from Tennessee, people come in from out of state. I just think it gives the day a little bit more time to, kind of breathe and get all your appointments and then watch other people in different categories that you're friends with. Like I'm a fan of it, but we'll see. Maybe after I won't be, but I doubt it. I like it.
Absolutely. Well, as you already stated, you're defending your title. You're looking to be, I think, the first woman to do it back to back. As far as bikini, I don't think that's ever been done before, correct?
No pressure. I don't think it's been done. So
hey, no pressure. So September 21st, Shelli gets first place. We're going to manifest that now for you. What is your go-to meal after the Yorton? What are you going to eat?
So, usually my go-to meal is just a really good burger and fries. Like I'm a red meat girl at heart, like a burger and fries. That's my go-to meal. But my downfall is sweets. So I will definitely be having some sort of donut, dessert. That's like number one out the gate. I will probably have a donut immediately after, before I even have a burger.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got the cheat meal, and we need one more fun fact about Shelli, because we want people to either, like, the whole thing is just getting people to know who the athlete is, one, and then also there's maybe athletes that you resonate with that we may not, or that may resonate with us that may come across your page and say, hey, I really want to follow her because of her personality. So what's one fun fact about Shelli to take us out?
Gosh, a fun fact. I don't even know. I don't even know a fun fact. Everyone, I don't know. A lot of people know, like, I have a Doberman. He's kind of my kid. I know, you do the French Bulldog thing, Jamal, but I have a big old blue Doberman, and he's pretty much my adventurer. I love the beach. So we're always kind of going, you guys see where I was going to Florida, and that's my happy place. So I like to adventure, and as much as I like to work out and bodybuild, I like my downtime, and I like my beach time.
All right, I got a better one for you, Shelli, because you just chopped that up.
Fine.
All right, so what color do you consider your hair?
That's a good one. I consider my hair gray. I'll be honest, my hair is natural. I have no hair color in my hair whatsoever.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to get at, because when most people talk about you, they're like, the woman that won the Yorton, she has the gray, beautiful hair. So that's one thing that always stands out, or people say when they speak of you, is your hair. So
okay.
What age did that gray come in, if you don't mind?
Oh no. So, okay, I guess I could have said this about the fun fact, but way back in the day, I did hair. I was a hairstylist for 8 years for a while before my job now, but I started going gray, honestly, like around 28, 30. But at the time, my hair was red. I colored it. I had super red hair. Yeah, maybe I'll throw up a red hair picture on social media for fun. I don't know. But I had super red hair, and then I started going gray and started highlighting it to match the gray, because I thought, I cannot go gray by 30. That is not okay with me. And then it became in style, and I mean, it's hard to tell, but you guys will see me in person. It is white. Like, it's not, it is white. This is like white. So I just let it go and went with it, and here we are. So
absolutely.
And just like that, we had Shelli. And once again, we're going to thank you for coming on and joining us again. Hopefully after the Yorton, you know how we always do, we try to bring everyone back on. So once you're holding that cup, maybe you could drink wine out of both of them the next time.
Yeah.
But
I will, trust me.
So we're going to actually end this episode, and then make sure you guys follow Shelli, go to the championship show, follow the page, follow the YouTube, and until next week, be out.
Thanks, guys.